Well, shemai ffrindiau, how are you all? I'm back today with a fairy tale, which is a perfect way to tick off one of the boxes on the challenge sheet in Dosbarth Enfys. And this one, as you can see, I bought it in Home Bargains. It was an absolute bargain, which is why the shop gets his name. This one's called Cinderella. I love Cinderella. Oh, and is based on a traditional folk tale. Now, we also call this a fairy tale. Once upon a time, there was a beautiful girl called Cinderella who lived with her mean stepmother and stepsisters. The stepsisters wore fancy ribbons and laces, but they both had such ugly faces. Cinderella was gentle and sweet, but she had to wear rags and clogs on her feet. Poor thing. One day, a note came from the palace. "The prince is having a ball," said the stepmother, "and he has invited all the young ladies in the kingdom." And in a speech bubble here it says, "Can I come too?" Cinderella's stepsisters were very excited. "Help us get dressed in our very best," they squawked at Cinderella. And when she asked, "Can I come too?" this one says, "No, not you." On the day of the ball, Cinderella helped her stepsisters primp and preen. But look, they still look mean, don't they? And she's saying, "Brush my hair." "No, not there." They rode off in a carriage with their heads held high. Cinderella watched and waved, then sat down to cry. "Ah, Trienni. How I wish I could go to the ball," Cinderella wept. Suddenly, with a flash of light and a whoosh of air, a kind old lady was standing there. "Who are you?" Cinderella cried. "I'm your fairy godmother," the woman replied. "You shall go to the ball." The cat is thinking, Who's that? Then with some flicks of her wand and a few magic words, the most amazing things occurred. The fairy godmother turned a pumpkin into a coach, 6 mice into 6 fine horses, and a rat into a handsome carriage driver. 6 lizards became 6 footmen in green coats. And she's asking, "Is this all for me?" "Now for the best part," said the fairy godmother, flicking her wand up and down. Cinderella's rags became a beautiful gown. She shimmered with jewels, and on her feet were 2 glass slippers, dainty and neat. "Have a good time at the ball," her fairy godmother called, "but be back before midnight. That's when the magic will end." Everyone at the ball wondered who the lovely girl was. Even her stepsisters didn't recognise Cinderella. And she's saying, "I don't know her, do you?" And this boy is saying, "Who is she?" The prince asked Cinderella to dance, and together they swirled and whirled and twirled across the room. To Cinderella's great delight, the prince danced only with her all night. Cinderella was having such fun that she forgot all about her promise to the fairy godmother. Suddenly, the clock struck 12. "Oh no, time to go!" Cinderella ran out of the palace and ran down the stairs. The prince ran after her, but he couldn't see his princess. There was only a girl wearing rags. Then the prince saw something gleaming by his feet. "It's her glass slipper," he said. "I know what I'll do. I'll search the kingdom through and through to find the girl whose foot fits this shoe." The prince visited every house in the kingdom. "I will marry the girl who can fit into the slipper," he told everyone. Both of Cinderella's stepsisters tried. The first one's feet were much too wide. She wouldn't be the prince's bride. The second stepsister's feet were too fat and hairy. "Very scary," says the mouse. The prince was about to leave when he heard a voice gentle and shy, saying, "Please, may I try?" The stepsisters laughed and called out, "You!" But the prince says, "Yes, please do." Of course, the slipper fitted Cinderella perfectly. Suddenly, Cinderella's fairy godmother arrived once more. With a flick of her wand, Cinderella wore a beautiful ball gown. The prince took Cinderella into his arms and said, "Will you be my bride?" "Yes, I will," Cinderella replied. So they were married and lived happily ever after. See, I said that fairy tales often end with happy ever after. Shall we do our goodbye song? 1, 2, 3. Hwyl fawr ffrindiau, hwyl fawr ffrindiau, hwyl fawr ffrindiau, mae'n amser dweud hwyl fawr. Twrelwre bantynni, 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 twrelwre bantynni, mae'n amser dweud hwyl fawr. See you soon with the next story. Hwyl fawr.